I know what you're thinking. Poor Divinity, she got nobody. You know, a few weeks ago, I thought that I met a person. I thought that was my person. I thought that was my person, but it's just the mind games. But then I thought about it today, like, you know what? When people don't like to communicate, that's the biggest part of people breaking up and not working out, you know? And I wasn't even actively dating, but I was interested in that person. That person was interested in me too. I thought he was the one, but he sabotaged it. He sabotaged the whole thing, twisted it. And when I saw some narcissistic red flag signs, I had to run. Because, Spirit already told me a few weeks ago, let him heal because he's just broken up with somebody. Leave him alone. Let him heal. Let everything happen naturally. And that's what I did. Spirit told me he needs to fucking heal on his own. You can't heal him. He has to heal from what he went through with his ex. But no, he just wants to not heal. He must heal in order to move on, not only from me, from just to somebody else. You have to heal, people. You can't. And I never wanted to be his rebound person. Hell no, because I really like this person. You know what I mean? Genuinely. But people don't like to communicate. All he had to do is communicate. But instead, he said, oh, let me get a reaction out of her so she can say something. So he started to post pictures of him and his ex or him and the girl. He thought I was going to be jealous. No, I don't get jealous. No. I thought that was an immature move. And when I called him last night, he didn't want to pick up the phone. So you know what? Your credibility is not there, Like, come on. I'm a communicator, guys, as you know. You gotta communicate. If you don't communicate, how are they gonna fucking know? So I'm fucking communicating, universe. I'm communicating. Yes, I am. Fucking right now, I'm communicating. You know? You must communicate. I don't care what kind of relationship it is. You must communicate. Why you gotta fucking put things under the fucking rug? I told you I'm a New Yorker. I'm gonna tell you how it is, This is wrong and this is wrong. And this guy texts me 3:30 in the morning. He goes to me, where are you from? Where I am from? You don't know that as yet? And then that triggered me that, is this really even him? Who is this person? And people like to have relationships over messages, They can't pick up the phone and actually talk and say, hey, babe, it's me. No. They gotta just ask you stupid questions because they already know what happened to you in the past. But no, they're gonna do the same thing purposely what somebody else did to you and then say that they weren't them, right? Because there's a lot of online phishing going on, whatever the fuck it's called, And then you call to see if it's really them. They don't pick up the phone. And they ask you this crazy question. Where are you from? Then you don't even know if it's them. It might be somebody that just posted a picture and said it's them, but they're like, where are you from? Because this person has a lot of imposters online. And that's why I tell them, fucking call me. Do not text me. Call me. So I know it's your voice. I know it's you. But no, he refused to call me. No, you don't want to call. I don't know why, but you know what? I'm done. Done as in, I can't deal with the immaturity. Am I sad? Yeah, I'm going to be sad, maybe. I'm going to be sad for this one, God. God's like, yeah. And God's not even telling me stuff. He's like, I'm not telling you anything anymore. I'm like, why? Because I'm not telling you anything anymore. I'm like, fine, don't fucking tell me, Jesus. I'm like, fuck. He's just like, I'm not telling you anything anymore. I'm like, why, Jesus? He goes, I said, because Jesus told me, leave him alone. He's healing. And that's what I did. That's why I was not texting him on his phone. And when I was trying to text him, none of my texts were getting through him. I don't even know why. And I found out last time they were being blocked. So I worked on my phone 3 hours last night just to unblock and figure out what the fuck was going on with my phone. And then the text finally went through. And then he texts me back saying, where are you from? Really? I'm so over it, Jesus. Jesus! Excuse me. Jesus. I'm laughing at my own burp. That was confirmation, guys. I'm going to read what I wrote to this person of interest a couple of weeks ago. I'm just going to share my story with you. You know? This was on March 26th. I sent him this. I said, hey, I just dedicated a song to you on my page straight from my heart. Because yes, I do care about you. I do. Jesus told me you were healing and to give you space and time to figure out your heart and not to force anything, because love is never forced. It just happens unconditionally. I hope you like the song. I sang it in my own voice. Tell me if you like it once you hear it. I wrote the title, Jesus Told Me About You. Then I got no text after that. And then I just knew that somebody was blocking my phone. I don't know what was going on. I was like, okay, fine. I'm going to leave this. I'm just not going to focus on this right now because I had other things to focus on, you know. On April 1st, I texted him back. I'm like, are you online? Did you block me? Guess you did. Is this your number? Nothing. Then I saw him post another number yesterday. Then I added his number back on here like a fucking idiot. Gonna give people the benefit of the motherfucking doubt. And what happens? Let's see. Why am I sharing this with you? I don't know. Maybe I need to be heard. So yesterday, I finally heard back after I put a new number on there. I finally figured out this goddamn fucking phone. And then I said, hey, you there? And I was at 10:20. And then I'm like, text me when you get this, please. So he texted me at 2:45. Hey, but I was kind of sleeping. And then I said, I'm going to bed at 3:30. I have to work tomorrow. He said, have a great rest. I said, thanks. And just to throw me off the loop, this guy goes, where are you from again? Like, where are you from? They're like, okay, where am I from? You don't know that? You call me babe. You call me happiness, babe. You're my happiness. You're my love. And now you ask me where I'm from. So this triggered me. Like, okay, this is not even the person I thought he is. This is probably somebody else pretending to be him. That's why I called him. You know, pick up the phone. I said, you know what? I'm done. You don't want to pick up the phone and you don't want to communicate like a human being and have a real decent conversation and say, hey, what's up, babe? It's me. But no, you just want to text, not text, inconsistency, you know? So, all right, guys. So over the bullshit, you know? And I do see that he knows some woman who looks like a pancake face. This bitch really looked like a pancake face, you know, for real. And she's doing this to him in his mind space because she's doing, and you know, he doesn't believe in black magic, but I do. It happens all that happened to me all my life, so I believe in it. If shit happens, you know, I'm protected, of course. I know how to protect myself, you know. But this person's been doing this on him, so he can think negative of me, and that's why he's thinking that I'm with another person. I picked somebody else, and he's going through all this shit. It's like, oh my God, people. Like, Jesus, like, can you please show people clarity? I'm always so misunderstood all the time. That's all I want from now on. People not to misunderstand me. And if you don't know me by now, then I'm sorry, you're never gonna know me, because I'm really an honest person, you know? I don't really care if my honesty bothers you, but at least I'm not gonna lie to you. You will know up front who I am, you know? And this person, when he wrote, "Where are you from?" that triggered me. Like, is this the even person? Because first, when I started to text him a couple of months ago, it wasn't even him. It wasn't even him. It was like some phishing somebody was just acting like him. Yeah. Then he called me at least, and then I heard his voice, and then I knew it was him the next time. But this, why I'm making this video is because I feel that maybe somebody needs to hear this. Maybe I need to be heard this morning, you know? I think communication is so important in any relationship, you know? If you don't communicate, when the tire moment happens, you gotta communicate. It's free to communicate. Even if you don't like the person and it's not working, I say, just be nice and say, you know, it's not working out. I need some space, or it's just not gonna work out. I'm sorry. But no, not even that. Not even true. Not even I'm sorry I fucked up, or you know, I'm sorry I didn't take responsible for my actions. Be fucking honest, you know? I was telling God, why is it so hard, Jesus, for you to find me a fucking honest person, you know? I've been so goddamn fucking honest with everybody. And Jesus told me, I told you he's healing. I go, and I fucking left him alone. And what happened? When I left him alone, he didn't like my silence. He thought I'm dating people behind the scenes. Even told him that you need space and I'm giving you time to heal. You just broke up with somebody, you know? But no. But thanks for listening, guys. But today, I'm just over it. Just fucking over it, you know? We'll be sad for a couple of days, you know? Maybe a couple of months, but... And then I asked Jesus, he goes, honey, why you worry? I wrote your love story, okay? What is meant to be will be. What is not meant to be won't be, you know? So just pray. And I'm praying for everybody's happiness. And it's okay if he changes his mind and he don't want to be interested. It's okay, because I just want him to find happiness wherever he finds happiness. I want people to be happy at the end of the day, you know? Because that's more important to me, for people to be happy, even if they don't want to pick me or choose me or be with me, because I feel like even if you're mean to me, or even things didn't work out, even there was a miscommunication, whatever the fuck it was, my heart still wants to see you smile, because that matters to me most, you know? That matters to me. I want you to be happy with whoever you want to be happy with. And if you can't be happy with me, it's okay. But please, for your next relationship, whoever's listening, please fucking communicate. You gotta communicate. It's free to communicate, you know? So many relationships have tire moments because people don't communicate, you know? It's the number one reason people breaking up, because they don't communicate. They assume. And the word assume has ASS in it, ass. And that's what my nursing instructor told me. Never assume. Always ask the doctor. Always ask the patient, you know? Because assume has a word ass in it. And I never forgot that. Never assume. Investigate. If you want to know about somebody, investigate. Call the doctor. Tell the doctor the symptoms. Tell this and this and this, you know? You can understand what I'm trying to say? maybe you need to hear this morning, you know. But I think, you know, this people like to control, you know. They feel like if you're not going to give them their way, if you're not going to communicate, right? Because you just told them you just want them to have you just want them to heal so they can have space to heal and you're here for them. But then that backfires on you. And then they switch it around and they start posting pictures of other people with them and then think that it's funny, that they're going to get a reaction. They got a reaction, all right. That's not love, guys. It's like control. You understand? That's control. That's what that really is. Because I was like deeply looking into it. I'm like, that is control. That's controlling somebody. You know, so that means if I'm in a relationship with you and I don't give you what you want, you're gonna do this all the time and walk away with somebody else. You know, and I must do what you tell me to do because then I'll be afraid that you might go walk away. Was controlling, you know? No. You can't control a whole, you can't control anybody, guys. If you are trying to control the person you love, it will never work. Never. Stop controlling people. You know? Hold people responsible for their actions. You know, and be responsible for your actions, you know? But love is not controlling. Love is humble. Love is kindness. Love is communication. Love is communicating and telling them whatever you need to tell them. And that's exactly what I said, like what I read to you, you know? But no, this whole shit fucking backfired on me and I'm so fucking over it. But I'm gonna be all right. My last day of fasting today, I was gonna do 9 fasting, but Jesus says I can do 5, and today's my 5th day. I'm like, thank you, God, because 9 would be a lot. But anyways, we have to go to work. But see ya. Don't wanna be you. Thanks for listening. Whoever's listening, if you're listening and you feel, oh, I'll be all right. And if you're listening and laughing and say, ha ha, she got nobody. That's fine too, because I got my Jesus. Thanks, guys.